Alright guys, today I'm going to show you how to do a simple paint job that will look much better than how hard it is to do. There are many people out there who's trying to get good looking paint jobs on their body shells, but it's kind of hard if you don't know what you're doing. And this will get you started. This is an absolute beginner course that allows you to paint pretty cool effects and designs on your car with minimal equipment, so I hope it helps out. If everything goes right, you'll probably end up with a shell like this at first, which to be honest isn't perfect. Focused. It's not focusing. But once you get a hang of it, hopefully you'll be able to do something like this one. Alright, so what you're gonna need first is a body shell. This is for a Serpent 2.0. You're gonna need an acrylic or whatever paint that is not water soluble, so it doesn't get around. A small fine paintbrush, a larger paintbrush to lather on the masking tape, masking liquid, and this is what I'm using here. This is Bob the Valley, pretty good stuff, high-end stuff. So yep, let's get to it. First things first, you're gonna need something like a permanent marker. I'm just using this gutter marker as an example. I don't usually use this. And draw out a design. For example, here I'll draw lines and whatever. And after you have basically penciled in the design on the outside of the cover with the protective film still on, you just flip it over and use this fine brush with the enamel paint, acrylic paint, whatever you want, and draw fine lines, the outline of it inside the cover, which I've already done here. Now you can start off with finer lines like what I've done here, or you can go messy a bit. As you go, you'll experiment and you'll find how you can add different effects to it. This one here, this is actually pre-painted. As you can see, the lines aren't that fine and they're exaggerated brush strokes, and it really adds to the effect. But for beginners, I would just advise something clean, something fine and clean first. Now after you've done this, what you want to do is you want to plan out a design. For this one, I'm gonna paint the front white and the back, the color I'll decide later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask the front part first. Now what you can do here to make it simpler for you and to make it more price to help save you a bit of money, you want to mask it just inside the lines. If you can do it, make sure you don't touch the lines, because when you peel off the liquid mask, the lines do come off sometimes. So what you want to try to do is to get it as neat as possible inside the lines. I'm going to apply it now and I'll see you in a bit. And there you have it. As you can see, I've just painted the first layer of my liquid mask, and now I'll leave it off to dry. Once it dries, it becomes sort of transparent, like what you see here. You can see it drying as we speak. And I'll go on and put on 4 to 5 layers to make it really easy to peel off. And you really need it because the liquid mask sticks very well to the enamel paint, acrylic paint. And when you tear it off, you will tear some of the paint off, but then we'll be able to fix it later. So go once, later on, be generous with the amount of liquid paint you use. We're not using it on the entire body, so you're already saving some money anyway. And I'll see you in a bit. Alright, basically now that I've got 5 coats of liquid mask on this, I'm gonna give it some splash effect for the rear side, which will be the colored side. Now splash effect, what we're trying to do is just give it something like this. As you can see, the spots on the cars, it adds to the depth of the paint job. You can also do marble effects on it. I'll post a picture of a marble effect that I've done in the past. And to do the splash job is actually basically just what It sounds like you put your paintbrush in the black paint that you've used and just flick it all over the shell. The parts that you do not want to be painted will be protected by the liquid mask, and after that you let it dry, and all you have to do is just spray a top coat over it. Alright, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So now I've got my enamel paint here. I'm going to use this brush. All I'm going to do is I'm going to dip it in paint. Now you don't have to worry about being messy with this, because basically that's what you're hoping to achieve. And I'll just flick it. Oh, it's not working with this brush, sorry. I'll use this brush instead. This is my finer brush. I'll just put it with paint, and all I'm gonna do now is flick it all over. Yep. Depends on how neat or dirty you want it to be. You can just keep adding spots. I like it a bit dirtier. Makes it look better for me. There we have it. That's all there is to it. We'll let it dry. Then we'll paint a lighter color over it, and it should look pretty good. Yep. There we have it. So after the masking, after you pull off the masking, you should be left with something like this. So you can see the black is still, majority of the black is still intact, so I don't have to repaint over it. Looks good. The spots on the blue really give it an additional depth to your paint job. Now you can choose to do a number of effects on this. I'm just gonna do a small colored outline, maybe with orange, and then fill it up with white, because that's what I like. So you don't need an airbrush to do such effects. You can just use a light paint of orange first over it, but because I have an airbrush, I will try to do something more unique. So we'll see how it turns out. Cheers.